For over 2 decades now, there's been this one tool, kind of quietly working in the background, empowering a whole generation of creators to build the games of their dreams. We're talking everything from little hobby projects to massive commercial hits. So today, we're going to dive into the story of GameMaker. All right, so let's just jump right in, starting with a feeling, a dream, really, that I bet a lot of you have had. Making your very own video game. It's such a powerful idea, isn't it? You've got the concept, you can picture the characters, you know exactly how the world should feel, but then, bam, you hit a wall. A really, really common and really high wall. And this right here, this sums up the problem perfectly. On one side, you've got this beautiful, creative vision, and on the other, the reality, a mountain of complex code. That massive gap between the idea and the execution is where so many of those dreams just fizzle out. And that is the exact problem GameMaker was built to solve. So how does it actually do that? Well, it's pretty clever. It gives you two totally different but equally powerful ways to bring your game to life. So the first path you can take is GML Visual. And this is just the perfect entry point if you're new to programming. Instead of typing out code, you're literally just snapping together these pre-made blocks of logic. It lets you focus on what your game is supposed to do instead of getting all tangled up in syntax. It's an amazing way to learn the ropes while you're actually building something cool. But once you're ready to take off the training wheels, there's the GameMaker Language, or GML. Now, this is a seriously powerful scripting language, kind of like JavaScript, that gives you total, fine-grained control over every single pixel of your game. So if GML Visual is like building with Lego bricks, GML is like having the raw plastic itself. You can mold any piece you can possibly imagine. But look, an engine this versatile didn't just pop up overnight fully formed. Its journey is a 25-year story of evolution, of adaptation, and some really incredible growth. It all started way back in 1999, believe it or not, as a simple graphics tool called Animo. Then things got serious in 2007 with the YoYo Games partnership. But the real turning point? 2011. That's when the whole engine was rewritten in C++, giving it a massive shot of adrenaline. Then came GameMaker Studio 2 in 2017, with a modern look and feel. All of this led to it being acquired by Opera in 2021, setting the stage for its biggest change ever, which just happened in 2023. Let's just focus on that 2011 rewrite for a second, because it was an absolute game changer. Rebuilding the engine's core in a language like C++ meant that all of a sudden, creators could build bigger, faster, and way more complex games than ever before. This moment really shattered the ceiling on what people thought this simple little engine could do. And through this whole journey, the engine had a bit of an identity crisis. It went from Animo to GameMaker with a space, then GameMaker without one, then it became GameMaker Studio, and now it's come full circle, back to just GameMaker. The name was evolving right along with the tech. Now this represents a huge moment. In 2021, Opera Software, the company that makes the web browser, bought YoYo Games for about $10 million. I mean, talk about validation. This was the proof that GameMaker wasn't just some tool for hobbyists anymore. It was a serious commercial asset with a passionate community and a long list of successful games. So all this evolution didn't just make the engine better, it allowed its reach to just explode. It grew from a tool mostly used in classrooms to an engine that powers games on basically every major console out there. I mean, just look at this list. This is the real power of a modern engine. A developer can build one single project and then publish their game almost everywhere. We're talking desktops, web browsers, mobile phones, and all the big consoles, PlayStation, Xbox, and the Nintendo Switch. That kind of reach used to be something only giant studios could even dream of. But here's the thing. Even with all that commercial success, GameMaker has never forgotten where it came from. This quote here connects it all the way back to early educational tools, based on this idea that you learn best by building things. That whole philosophy of empowering people to create and learn by doing is still baked right into GameMaker's DNA. And that brings us right up to today, to the latest and maybe the most important chapter in this whole story, a brand new model that completely changes the answer to the question, who gets to be a game developer? Okay, this is a massive deal. As of late 2023, GameMaker is now completely free for anyone to use for non-commercial projects. That means anybody, you, me, a student, anyone with an idea can download it right now and start making games for PC, Mac, mobile, and the web without paying a single dime. They've effectively removed the biggest barrier of all for new creators, the cost. So we end up with this question. For 25 years, GameMaker has worked to tear down the technical barrier to making games, and now it's torn down the financial one. So when these incredibly powerful tools are in the hands of more creative people than ever before, you just have to wonder, what amazing new stories are we all about to play?